Hello everyone, this is a quick run through on how to bleed a Clutchmaster cylinder, especially on a 2001 Honda Accord. I know that there's a lot of other methods that other people seem to have tried to use. Some people have it work, some people don't. This is what I highly recommend for this car specifically, and honestly probably most Hondas of this generation. This car was a pain to bleed. I tried doing your normal gravity bleeding, your pump bleeding, and I even tried reverse bleeding from the brake caliper back through the slave cylinder. All of that very, very much so failed on me. I would highly recommend this method with a vacuum bleeder. It was quick. It took me maybe an hour with setup after I had already had all my parts in the car. So here's what we do. Hook up your vacuum bleeder system to your slave cylinder there, and you have your reservoir can. You can see how I have my wrench set up. It was kind of difficult to set up your wrench. I would highly recommend just opening the bleeder because it is at the bottom of the system, at the lowest point. You don't have to worry about air getting back in through that bleeder. Gravity bleeding is technically possible, but it's a real pain. So being at that bottom point, you don't have to worry about any air going back into that slave cylinder when you open up that bleeder. So what you have to do, just because of the design of this car, you can't easily break loose that bleeder with the tubing on. So you just have to open it up with the wrench pretty far. I would say 3 or so turns, so probably about a quarter turn fully if you have the full access. And then you get that tubing on and you're ready to set that part up. That's all good to go. When you come up to your reservoir and your Clutchmaster, it's tucked way back in there. That's why it's a real pain to get it bled. But, you know, just ensuring that your reservoir is filled the entire time, keeping that cap off. I put it back on since I'm done. And then when you are starting this process, get your vacuum going. And you can start seeing some fluid coming up through your line here. Definitely go ahead, push on your clutch pedal a few times. If you have a second person, ensure there's vacuum at all times. That's great. If you don't, that's fine as well. Just pump it a couple times. Look at your reservoir real quick. Come back over here and make sure that you have some vacuum on your line. Next up, you would want to just ensure that you're not filling up your catch can too full. When you get through your entire system, I would say filling out your reservoir 2 to 3 times, you're going to realize that this is getting quite full. Definitely make sure that doesn't get to that point. Otherwise, you're going to probably ruin your vacuum bleeder. Last pointer, I would say, is just, making sure that after you pump that clutch pedal, making sure everything's filled. Additionally, go ahead and push in your slave cylinder. You can see the point of it's right there at the tip of my finger. Push that back in. That entire cylinder there will catch air, and it did for me. After doing this a few times, I probably bled the entire system with this catch can filled 3 times, I would say, and I have a firm clutch pedal. After that, it's pretty easy, spraying off everything with water if you have any brake fluid everywhere, just to help, stop corrosion. And other than that, you're all set to go. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer anything anytime.